If you love The Giver and looking for some similar books like it, then relax. You have come to the right place. In this video, we're going to share some dystopian books like The Giver. We include the list of some books that are matched with The Giver in genre and some books that are written by authors like Lois Lowry. Before that, we want to share a short summary of The Giver with you. The Giver summary. Jonas lives in a somewhat sheltered community. Jonas lives with his father, a caretaker, his mother, a judge of some kind, and his younger sister Lily, an imaginative girl who asks a lot of questions. Furthermore, this community places a high value on age, labeling each boy and girl with different labels based on their age. As Jonas is turning 12, he will be assigned to his job, while his friends and peers are assigned regular jobs in the community. He is chosen to be the receiver. The receiver is a prestigious job that requires them to learn and preserve the past's memories. So, he begins his training with the giver, the previous receiver. The giver is a knowledgeable and tired old man. The giver begins transferring memories from the past through touch. At first, this is exciting because he experiences things like snow and color, which are absent from this community. However, the giver then transfers memories of pain and other negative images, which hurt Jonas. After contemplating what to do with this knowledge, Jonas decides to take a newborn, Gabriel, with him and run from this community. He eventually makes it to society, where he's greeted by the sight of brightly decorated homes. And while there are elements of the supernatural, the passing of memories, the somewhat utopian or dystopian society established in the story is a topic of most discussion. Here are the 16 books to read if you like The Giver that are written by authors like Lois Lowry. Gathering Blue by Lois Lowry. It's the second book of the Giver Quartet. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Kara. She was very sad because her mom died and her father was said to be eaten by the beast. Kara also had a chipped leg. She was later taken into the Council of Guardians. However, later she was assigned a job to repair a robe because of her talent of weaving. And she also meets friends at the council. She was sent to Annabella's to learn what her mother didn't finish. Messenger by Lois Lowry. The main character in this book is Maddie. Maddie lives in a charitable society where everybody is nice and welcoming. He lives with his caregiver, an old blind man called Seer. He was helping the Seer with housework and served as a messenger to send messages to people across the forest. 1984 by George Orwell. The story takes place in London, the capital of Airstrip 1, formerly known as Great Britain, which is now part of a province called Oceania. Winston Smith, the main character, lives in London during the year 1984 under the control of a totalitarian government. The government watches him every second of his life. Winston hates this government and everything it represents because he knows that they are lying to him about their true intentions. In the end, Winston is forced to betray Julia to prove a feeling of complete love and devotion to Big Brother. Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. This book is pretty similar to the Nazi story in terms that the ruling power burns all the books and forbids intellectual thinking in the near future. Books are considered the root of all discord and unhappiness. Therefore, they are all being burnt to a crisp. However, when the man in charge of burning the books, Guy Montag, a fireman and our main character, starts to doubt these affirmations, everything takes an unexpected turn. A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. This book spawns an unforgettable, vivid story about a nightmarish future, infested with violent gangs, extreme youthful violence and the painstaking work of the authorities to try and restore order. This massively popular dark novel tells the story of a 15-year-old Alex and his gangs of friends who rob, rape and kill their way through life until the state put a brake on his excesses of violence. Swipe by Evan Angler. In this book, Evan Angler talks about not so far future the US accepts a charismatic leader that implements a system where everyone has to get a tattoo with a barcode at the ripe age of 13 years old, which grants its bearers the right of citizenship. This apocalyptic dystopian fiction reveals the story of 13-year-old Logan. He feels a heap of dread in the day to get his tattoo approaches because his sister disappeared on the day she get her citizenship mark. Before the pivotal day arrives, Logan wants to know the truth behind his sister's disappearance. It's a 4-series tale with a lot of twists, turns and jaw-dropping moments that will keep you glued to its pages for quite a while. The Sheep Lookup, by John Brunner. The Sheep Lookup presents a future where environmental destruction has run rampant. Congenital disabilities, diseases and air pollution are so pervasive that people have to wear gas masks even to breathe and drink poisonous, unsafe water. The City of Ember, by Jean Duprow. The story takes place in an underground world where people get their power from light bulbs and food from machines that stay in one place. But right now, the city is deteriorating and the people don't know what to do. The Handmaid's Tale, by Margaret Atwood. In a post-nuclear world plagued by infertility, women are forbidden from reading. Besides, the few who are capable of having children are subjugated and forced into servitude for the wider needs of society by becoming an incubator. Parable of the Sower, by Octavia E. Butler. The story follows Lauren Olamina. She lived in a nice, quiet neighborhood. But her world has been thrown into chaos because of her ability to feel everyone's pain intensely. She has acted on to protect her loved ones from the imminent disasters. Parable of the Sower is uncomfortably familiar in many ways to our present, and reading it can shed light on how empathy can save and doom us in today's world. Blindness, by Jose Saramago. In this tale, Saramago talks about a mysterious white plague that sweeps through a city, leaving everyone to go blind except for one woman. So, she takes on the responsibility of guiding 7 strangers through the harrowing, nightmarish, barren streets of the city. This is a fantastic parable of loss and disorientation that evokes man's worst appetites and has unforgettably swept the public. We, by Yevgeny Zamyatin. The We's world's people are no longer given names, but IDs and are kept under constant surveillance. Even with the attempt to strip people of their humanity, they're still able to feel love, fear and have hope that their society, which is teetering on the edge of dystopia, might pull itself back to safety somehow. Never Let Me Go, by Kazuo Ishiguro. The plot revolves around a state-run cloning program designed to continue the lives of citizens through organ donation. Ishiguro masterfully weaves a dystopian premise into the literary meditation on mortality that withholds the fates of his characters. In addition, it raises questions about friendship and what makes us who we are along the way. Cloud Atlas, by David Mitchell. This author takes the reader into a post-apocalyptic, far-off future that revolves around 6 nested stories. Each story is cleverly told by the main character of the next, creating a sense of continuity and escalating events as the action progresses. It is almost like a magic trick. However, the most riveting part of this book is that the dystopian future has already been set in motion by the present and the past events. The Stand, by Stephen King. The ever-popular Stephen King has created a fictional premise where most of humanity has been wiped out by a deadly plague plunging the globe into pandemonium. King's masterful storytelling ability will keep you guessing every step of the way throughout this compelling thriller. It shines a light on the never-ending battle between good and evil. The Wind-Up Girl, by Paolo Bacigalupi. This modern dystopian classic is set in Thailand. It describes a world where calamities are a regular occurrence. Similar to our world today, where climate change is affecting everything and megacorporations control everything. However, the Wind-Up Girl is a very plausible variant of the future of our world, along with biotechnology being an indispensable factor in people's lives. The story is centered around Emiko. She is a beautiful girl catered to the whims of the rich and to those who control every aspect of people's lives. Here are the 16 books like The Giver. If you have any recommendations, let us know in the comments section. We're really curious to see what your thoughts are on dystopias.